Hey guys, before we jump into this video, I want to give you a fair spoiler warning. We're going to be theorizing about a question raised by the first two episodes of Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. Now with that warning out of the way, let's jump in. So, near the end of the episode, as Galadriel is setting sail back to the Undying Lands, a meteor streaks across Middle-earth. Eyes from all over the land look up and watch the mysterious fireball fly overhead. Finally, it crashes to the ground close to where the Harfoots are, who seem to be ancestors of the hobbits. Specifically, the young Harfoot Nori sees this crash and goes to investigate it. As she peers into the fiery crater, she sees a mysterious man. The immediate question posed then is, who is this man and do we know him? Now, at first I thought maybe it was Sauron. The character emerges from a mysterious meteor and is surrounded by an ominous fire. The final shot of him in the first episode was an image that certainly looked like the flaming eye of Sauron, but I actually don't think that it's Sauron. Earlier this year, showrunners explained that when we finally see Sauron, it might not be in the way we expect. So if that's true, this is how I would expect Sauron to show up, and well, so maybe it's not Sauron, because that's how I would expect him. You see what I'm thinking there? Anyways, at this point in Sauron's story, he has gone into hiding following the defeat of his master Morgoth. So we'll see him at some point come out of hiding, but I don't know if this is how we'll see him. Another possibility, and this one seemed to be pretty popular, is a younger version of Gandalf. Now, this doesn't quite make sense within Tolkien's lore, but it's also not totally written out. Of course, the show is taking some liberties with Tolkien's broad depiction of the Second Age of Middle-earth, so perhaps they find a way around it. I don't know how I feel about that. But perhaps they introduce a younger Gandalf, and two things seem to support this theory to me. The way that this mysterious man interacts and speaks with the fireflies at the end of episode 2 was reminiscent of the way that Gandalf interacted with the moth in the Lord of the Rings films. He also creates a symbol with the fireflies that seemed oddly familiar to Gandalf's sign that he carves on Bilbo's door. Another point that has been made is that before the Third Age, Gandalf was known as a Maya spirit called Aloran. Aloran wielded fire in a way similar to this stranger does when we first see him, so perhaps this is a younger version of Gandalf in the Second Age. But now, if Gandalf is a viable theory, then perhaps the rest of the Astari or the wizards that come to Middle-earth are options as well. Saruman, Radagast, those are two that we know from the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. They could be logical options, but truthfully, I don't think that it's going to be them. Rather, I think it'll be a character that has some ambiguity in Tolkien's writings. As I mentioned before, this show is stepping into the Second Age territory, so there are things that Tolkien didn't totally flesh out. One such thing is the story of the Blue Wizards. Now, there were 5 Astari: Gandalf, Radagast, and Saruman. They came to Middle-earth, but so did 2 other wizards, the Blue Wizards, and for the most part we don't know much about their story, so perhaps this mysterious man is one of those wizards. I think it would make sense that they would take a character like this, who has a lot of ambiguity, but perhaps could connect us to some characters that we already know, like Gandalf. So those are a few options on the table, or not on the table depending on how you think, but let me know who you think this mysterious man could be. If you haven't already, leave a like for the video and have a great day.